Did you know Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for $50 million? They said no. Now Netflix is worth billions and Blockbuster is gone. 50% of businesses fail within 5 years. And it's not because of bad ideas, it's because founders can't let go. Let me show you what that actually looks like. When you start a business, it's exciting. You are building something, you are in control. But slowly, the business stops being something you do. It becomes who you are. Your self worth depends on how the business is doing. Good month, you are a genius. Bad month, you are a failure. You can't take a day off. You can't delegate. You can't step away. Stop for a second. Think about it. What happens to your sense of self if the business fails? If the answer scares you, you're already in the trap. When your identity is tied to your business, every problem feels personal. Every failure feels like it's your fault. Every setback feels like proof that you are not good enough. And that's when you stop making rational decisions. You stop pivoting. You stop delegating. You stop listening to feedback. Because admitting something isn't working feels like admitting you are not working. The thing you built for freedom slowly becomes a cage. So, why do we do this? Fear of failure. Changing course feels like admitting you were wrong, so you keep going, even when it's not working. You tell yourself, just a little more effort. You tell yourself, it will work eventually. You tell yourself, I've come too far to stop now. Ego. You surround yourself with people who agree with you. You ignore feedback, you blame everyone else. Your business isn't failing, it's the market, it's the economy, it's the customers who just don't get it. Emotional investment. You have put so much time and energy into this. Quitting feels like wasting all of it. There's a name for this, the sunk cost fallacy. Here's what that looks like. You spend months building a product, you launch it, nobody buys it. The smart move, pivot or stop. But instead, you keep investing. You add more features, you run more ads, you spend more time. Why? Not because it's working, because you've already invested so much that quitting feels impossible. You're staying in something that's not working because you're afraid of losing what you have already put in. That's not strategy, that's fear. That's the identity trap. And here's what that looks like right now. 87% of entrepreneurs struggle with mental health. More than half experience burnout. Nearly half of CEOs report severe loneliness. Think about that. Almost half of founders, the people who are supposed to have it all together, feel completely alone. You are the one everyone depends on. But who do you depend on? Behind the motivational post and smiling LinkedIn photos, business owners are quietly overwhelmed. Not because they are weak, not because they failed, but because the thing they built for freedom slowly became a trap. And they can't tell everyone. Because admitting that you are struggling feels like admitting you are not good enough. So you keep performing strength, you keep smiling, you keep pretending everything is fine, while inside you are falling apart. This is happening right now. AI disruption, economics uncertainty, everything moving faster, and founders are trying to keep up while carrying the weight of everything alone. This is the real cost of identity trap. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about seeing yourself clearly enough to make a different choice. So let me ask you something. Take a moment, think about your life right now. Is there something you're holding on to, even though deep down you know it's not working? A business idea you are forcing, a project you keep delaying, a strategy you are still clinging to because changing it feels like admitting you are wrong, a version of yourself you are holding on to because you're afraid of who you'd be without it. Why are you still holding on? Because it's familiar? Because it's safe? Because letting go feels like losing something? Or is it because you are afraid of what happens if you let go? and you don't recognize who you are without it. Because that's the real question. Not what you are holding on to, but why. The same thinking that killed Blockbuster, it's still alive in businesses everywhere. And maybe, just maybe, in yours too. Because Blockbuster didn't fail because they didn't see what Netflix was doing. They saw it, they just couldn't imagine themselves as anything other than what they already were. That's the identity trap. That's why most businesses fail. Not because of bad ideas, because of bad thinking. Because founders can't let go. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is making room for something better. But you will never get there if you can't admit you are in the wrong place. Think about it. Be honest with yourself. This is VaultMind. We expose illusions and teach real thinking about money and psychology. If this hit home, subscribe. I'll see you